So first, where I want to get started is to give a baseline and understanding of who ThreatX is and the platform that we provide for our customers. Really, what we're trying to do is help all organizations of all sizes and industries manage their APIs and application protection in real time. The first thing that we do is we visualize, inventory, and discover your APIs that are within your threat stack. From there, we detect threats that are happening across your environment. What we do next is track those behaviors over time and find abnormalities in that, really producing the prioritization of where to focus on. And lastly, what we do is we are able to block real-time threats. ThreatX wraps this entire solution around what we call a protection as a service. So what does that really mean? In the world we live in today, organizations are really struggling when it comes to retaining employees or even hiring. So what we do is we provide an out-of-the-box managed 24/7 support system that can help you do all those different functions, such as visualize your APIs, detect those, and block those. So what we're doing is we're monitoring and we're responding in real time to your emerging threats, really be an extension of your security team. So that is ThreatX at a high-level overview. And what we're going to get into now is Nick's overview of Blackhat GraphQL, the book he created, and also GraphQL in general and the security risk that it poses to this industry. Nick, I'll let you take it away from here.
Blackhat GraphQL is one of the latest additions to the Black Hat arsenal as part of the No Starch Press publication for hackers and for bug bounty researchers. The book is curated for pen testers who may or may not have heard of what GraphQL is and how GraphQL APIs work. We wrote the book because we started to notice an uptick in the number of GraphQL applications that were out there. Well, Simple is a big customer, but we've also noticed that other organizations such as Shopify and even GitHub and PayPal are starting to use the GraphQL API as a way to serve data to some of their consumers. Now, we started to do some online research to see what kind of security techniques are out there on how to harden the GraphQL application layer. And we noticed that there wasn't a lot of resources out there. So we did what any group of hackers would have done, and so we started hacking it ourselves. The book itself is a collection of roughly 2 years of research into hacking and breaking GraphQL, and it also highlights some of the open source tools and utilities that we wrote that allow you to automatically test against it. Some of the things that you would be able to do in the book highlight things such as being able to build your own GraphQL hacking lab, as well as a full suite of tutorials on how to inject data, exfiltrate data, all within this brand new world that we call GraphQL. Now, one of the most important tools highlighted in the book is known as DVGA. I'm going to showcase it right here. DVGA stands for the Damn Vulnerable GraphQL Application, and it's a tribute to the Damn Vulnerable Web Application, DVWA. Now, we wrote DVGA as a tool and a resource for us, as well as other hackers, to be able to feel comfortable with breaking a GraphQL system without getting charged for breaking into another organization's GraphQL API. This is an intentionally vulnerable GraphQL application that has a whole suite of different vulnerabilities and weaknesses that really allow you to test your skills when it comes to breaking GraphQL applications. What I have here on the screen are actually 2 versions of DVGA. One version that I'm hosting, which is raw and as vulnerable as can be, and the second version that I have here, DVGA 2, is a version that's hosted by my friends at ThreatX. Jeremy, do you want to talk a bit about how ThreatX is protecting the second version of DVGA?
Absolutely. Thanks, Nick. So as Nick mentioned, ThreatX is sitting in front of that second DVGA application that Nick has created. So what does that really mean? So ThreatX is architected in a reverse proxy manner. So what we're doing is we are looking at all the HTTPS traffic that is coming in, being able to analyze that flow, understanding, is this an application? Is this an API? From there, what we're doing, as I mentioned before, identifying the behaviors that we see based upon different rule configurations and rule logic. And so what we're doing is when you'll see Nick do his demo, we'll be able to see that traffic come in, identify that it's GraphQL, and then from there, because we're in a reverse proxy state, be able to take action on that.